The rain fell heavily on the quiet cemetery as Emily stood beside the grave of her husband, Daniel. The cold wind moved through the trees, but she barely felt it. Her eyes were fixed on the wooden box in front of her. The man who had been her best friend, her protector, and her whole world was gone. But there was one thing that hurt more than losing Daniel. Her parents were not there. Emily kept looking toward the entrance of the cemetery, hoping to see their car arrive. She wanted to believe there was a good reason. Maybe they were stuck in traffic. Maybe something unexpected happened. But deep inside, she already knew the truth. They had made their choice. Only a few hours earlier, Emily's mother had sent her a short message. "We cannot make it today. Lily's birthday celebration was planned months ago, and she needs us." Emily read the message again and again. Her husband's funeral was happening once in a lifetime, but her sister's birthday party was more important to them. For years, Emily had tried to understand why her parents always chose Lily first. She had accepted the excuses, the forgotten promises, and the empty words. But today was different. Today was the day she needed them the most. Daniel had always told her something before he passed away. "Emily, one day you will see who truly stand beside you." At that time, she thought he was only trying to comfort her. Now, standing alone at his funeral, she finally understood. After everyone left, Emily stayed near Daniel's grave. She wiped away her tears and noticed something strange. The funeral director walked toward her with a small envelope. "Your husband left this for you," he said quietly. "He asked me to give it to you only after the funeral." Emily looked at the envelope with confusion. Daniel had never mentioned it. Her hand started shaking as she opened it. Inside was a single note. 3 words were written on the page. "Trust nobody, Emily." And below those words was a name she never expected to see. Her father's name. Emily stared at the paper in her hands. Her father's name was written clearly at the bottom of the page. For a moment, she thought it had to be a mistake. Her father was not perfect, but he was still her father. She wanted to believe there was an explanation, but then she remembered the empty seat at the funeral. She remembered her mother choosing Lily's birthday party over Daniel's final goodbye. Slowly, Emily opened a second page hidden inside the envelope. It was a copy of a document. At first, the words made no sense. There were numbers, signatures, and dates. But one thing caught her attention. Her name was written on the document. Daniel had discovered something about her family, something they had kept hidden from her. That night, Emily could not sleep. She sat in the dark living room, holding the papers and thinking about every moment she ignored the warning signs. Daniel had always noticed things she refused to see. He noticed how her parents called only when they needed help. He noticed how Lily always received support, while Emily was expected to handle everything alone. The next morning, Emily received a phone call from an unknown number. "Is this Emily Carter?" a man asked. "Yes." "Who is this?" "My name is Robert. I am Daniel's lawyer." Emily froze. The lawyer continued. "Your husband left instructions before he passed away. He wanted you to receive everything after his funeral. Why did he wait?" Emily asked. There was a long silence. Then Robert said, "Because Daniel believed someone in your family would try to stop you from learning the truth." Emily's heart started beating faster. Someone in her family? Her mind immediately went to the same people who abandoned her. Her parents. Her sister. Robert continued. "Emily, your husband found evidence that could change your entire family forever." Emily looked at the documents again. For the first time since Daniel's death, she felt something stronger than sadness. She felt determination. She was ready to uncover the truth her family had buried for years. Emily arrived at Robert's office the next day with Daniel's envelope in her hands. She was nervous, but she knew she could not run away from the truth anymore. Robert placed a large folder on the table. "Daniel spent months collecting this information," he explained. "He wanted to protect you." Emily slowly opened the folder. Inside were emails, bank records, and copies of agreements. Every page revealed another painful truth. Her parents had been hiding financial problems for years. They had secretly used Emily's name on several documents because they believed she would never question them. Daniel had discovered everything. He had tried to warn Emily, but he knew she loved her family too much to believe the worst. "He cared about you deeply," Robert said. "He wanted you to see the truth when you were ready." Emily felt tears forming in her eyes. Daniel had been fighting for her, even when she did not know she needed help. That evening, Emily went to her parents' house. She wanted answers. When the door opened, her mother looked surprised. "Emily, we thought you needed some time after the funeral." Emily looked around the house. Pictures of Lily's birthday party were still everywhere. The same party they attended instead of Daniel's funeral. Her father walked in and said, "We hope you are not still upset about that. Lily's birthday was important." Emily looked at him silently. For the first time, she did not see her father. She saw the person who betrayed her. "You knew Daniel found out, didn't you?" Emily asked. The room became completely quiet. Her mother's face changed. Her father looked away. That small reaction told Emily everything. They knew what Daniel discovered, and they still chose to celebrate. Before Emily could say anything else, Lily entered the room. She smiled and said, "Why are you causing problems again? You always make everything about yourself." Emily looked at her sister. Then she calmly replied, "No, Lily, for the first time, I am making this about the truth." And that was the moment her family realized Emily was no longer the daughter they could control. Emily left her parents' house that night with a heavy heart, but she also felt something she had not felt in years: freedom. For so long, she had stayed quiet because she wanted to keep her family together. She ignored the pain, accepted their excuses, and hoped they would finally see her value. But Daniel's final gift had opened her eyes. The next few days, Emily worked with Robert to understand everything Daniel had discovered. The truth was worse than she imagined. Her parents had used her trust against her. They had hidden debts, moved responsibilities onto her name, and expected Emily to fix their problems whenever they needed help. Daniel had found every piece of evidence. He knew they would never admit the truth. That was why he prepared everything before he died. Meanwhile, Emily's parents believed she would eventually forgive them. Her mother called several times. At first, Emily ignored the calls. Then one evening, she answered. "Emily, we need to talk," her mother said. "What about?" Emily asked. "You know families should help each other. Your father and I are going through a difficult time." Emily almost laughed. A difficult time? They were worried about themselves, not about the daughter they abandoned. "You missed Daniel's funeral," Emily said quietly. Her mother became silent. "We already explained that," she replied. "Lily needed us." Emily closed her eyes. Those words still hurt. "You made your choice that day," Emily said. Before her mother could respond, Emily ended the call, but she was not finished. The next morning, Emily made a phone call of her own. It was not to her parents. It was to someone who had the power to reveal everything. Someone who had been waiting for Daniel's evidence. When the call ended, Emily looked at Daniel's picture. "I wish you were here to see this," she whispered. She did not know exactly what would happen next, but one thing was certain. Her parents had spent years underestimating her. Now, they were about to discover the biggest mistake they had ever made. The truth started spreading faster than Emily expected. Within days, the people who once believed her parents' perfect image began seeing the reality behind it. Robert released the evidence Daniel had collected. Every document, every record, and every hidden detail showed the same thing. Emily's parents had been protecting themselves for years. They had used Emily's kindness as a weakness, but they never expected Daniel to leave behind a plan. When Emily's father saw the evidence, he immediately called her. "You are destroying your own family," he shouted. Emily stayed calm. "No, Dad, I am only showing people what you did." Her father tried to defend himself. "We made mistakes, but we are still your parents." Emily looked at Daniel's picture on the table. For years, she had waited to hear those words from them, but now they meant nothing. "Parents are supposed to stand beside their children," Emily replied. "You were not there when I needed you the most." The call ended with silence. Meanwhile, Lily started panicking. Her perfect life was falling apart. Friends who once praised her began asking questions. The birthday party that mattered more than Daniel's funeral became the reason everyone remembered her family's betrayal. That evening, Lily visited Emily. For the first time, she did not look confident. I never wanted things to go this far, Lily said. Emily stared at her. You never stopped him either. Lily lowered her eyes. She knew Emily was right. She had enjoyed being the favorite daughter for years. She had accepted everything her parents gave her, while Emily was forgotten. Then Lily said something that shocked Emily. There is something else Daniel found before he died. Emily froze. What do you mean? Lily looked afraid. He found out why your parents needed your name on those documents. Emily felt a cold feeling in her heart. There was another secret, a secret even Daniel had not fully revealed. And this time, the truth could change everything. Emily sat quietly as Lily revealed the final secret. For the first time in years, her sister looked scared. Daniel found out that Mom and Dad were not only hiding debts, Lily said. They were planning to put everything on you. Emily felt her hands become cold. They wanted me to take the blame? Lily nodded slowly. They thought you would never fight back. Those words hurt more than Emily expected, not because she was surprised, but because she finally accepted the truth. Her parents never saw her as their daughter. They saw her as someone they could use. Daniel had known this. He had spent his final months protecting her from people who should have protected her. Emily returned home and opened the last file Daniel left behind. Inside was a final message. Her eyes filled with tears as she read his words. Emily, I know this will hurt, but I need you to understand something. Your value was never decided by people who failed to see it. You are stronger than you believe. For the first time since Daniel's death, Emily smiled, not because the pain was gone, but because she finally understood his reason. He did not leave her evidence for revenge. He left it so she could be free. Months later, Emily rebuilt her life. Her parents lost the trust of everyone around them. Their lives were exposed, and the people who once admired them walked away. Lily apologized, but Emily knew forgiveness would take time. Some wounds could heal, but they could not be forgotten. 1 year after Daniel's funeral, Emily visited his grave. She placed flowers beside his name and whispered, "They missed your goodbye, Daniel, but they will never forget the day their choices changed everything." The wind moved softly through the trees. Emily looked at the sky and felt peace. Her parents chose a birthday party over her husband's final goodbye. They thought they were hurting Emily, but they never realized that one phone call, one truth, and one final message would destroy the life they built on lies. VidIQ,